Hello, everyone. This is Brandon K. Hedgepeth, and I want to welcome you all here to this episode of Tansson Talks right here on the YouTube channel. I really hope everyone is doing well and are staying safe thus far today. So, today I am so glad to have a returning guest here who was originally on my Bran'sTech podcast back in mid 2022. So, please welcome Maxwell LeVan. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, bro. Appreciate you.
Hey, of course. I'm so glad to have you on. And so, first of all, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I woke up early for this, so I feel good.
That's awesome. And so it has been a couple months since we last spoke in, I believe, around April or May of 2022. And so, yeah, even though this will be, releasing in 2023, this is currently December 2022. And so, how's everything been, since the last time we spoke?
It's only been up, which I'm very happy about. I'm very thankful for. But it's just things have been going very smoothly. Staying busy.
That is great to hear. And so I know just in October you just put out your album. And so how's that been? How's the whole process been going for you?
It was strange in a way because when we first spoke, I was putting out my first single for the album, and the album didn't really fully exist yet. I just had a couple songs that I liked, and I wanted to stick with that style. And so then I just was like, all right, let's do it. And I had a lot of opportunity and time over the summer to just work more on it and build it up. And I had like 4 different versions of the album. So like 40 different songs that were, just different lists that I thought were going to be the album, and they all changed. And so it was a lot of trial and error. Like it wasn't just, all right, let's make 12 songs and work on those. It's like, no, let's make 40, 50 songs and then narrow it down. And I guess I didn't really understand that about the process, because when you listen to an album, you think usually people make it a certain way on purpose, and that's all they focus on. But then I realized, like, it's just a lot of songs that are really bad and then a couple songs that are good, and you got to weed it out. And so it was, but once I had it pretty narrowed down, it wasn't that hard. It was just because I'm the only one really working on it. I didn't have a bunch of outside help, that kind of by choice, because I'm very picky about what goes out. And so I just, yeah, it was a great experience though. I would definitely do it again. I am doing it again pretty soon.
That's pretty cool. And how long did it take for you to narrow down all of your song choices?
Well, I'll tell you this, it was a lot of me having my friends come in my car and pile in and listen to all these songs that, looking back, I never should have played for anybody, because I'm not saying they're awful songs, but they definitely don't belong out there in the world. And also songs that I felt were a little bit too personal to me, because sometimes you write a song when you're in a certain place in life or a certain mindset, and you really think that you know encapsulates how you feel, but then you don't want to put that out, and it's not necessarily everybody else's business in a way. So I had to sort of round off the edges and see, but it took pretty much the whole summer, and then even into August and September to really narrow it down. I think I sent the album in like early September. So right up until then, it was a little bit of stress, a lot of, because even once you narrow it down, now you gotta be like, okay, let's lock in on these and mix and master them and make sure they sound good on every kind of speaker and headphones and in the car and on huge venue speakers. And so, yeah, it was quite the experience, but it took a while, but I think it was worth it, and I'm happy with the album.
That's good to hear. And so for those listening who haven't had a chance to check it out yet, so what would you say people should expect, like, going in and going to listen for the first time?
The first listen, if you know nothing about me or my life experiences, which I honestly prefer. I prefer if people go into it blind and don't really know what to expect. But it's a pop punk kind of alternative style album, but I do have a couple acoustic tracks tucked in there with acoustic guitar, and I'm singing and I'm not screaming. So I tried to cater it to a wide variety of people, and everybody is going to have a different song that they like the most on it. And but I think there's something on it that everybody can at least appreciate, even if it's not a genre that they necessarily like. But yeah, I would just expect it's pretty much the story of the past couple years of my life, and it's and even the last song on the album is called "The Story of My Life," and basically I'm saying like this is the end of the story, and I've told it and I've left it on the table, and so I told myself I'm not going to write or at least release any more music about that specific mindset I had towards the world, because some of the songs are kind of intentionally self-deprecating and sarcastic, and making acknowledging the foolishness that I've projected before. So I think that chapter can be closed, and I'm happy about that.
Well, I like the way that you put that. Yeah, that this is the album for for that period of time, and that that
Mm.
you truly are just sort of leaving it, and that way you're able to sort of progress on to to new stuff going forward. And so out of curiosity, what type of album ideas do you have for the future, or anything else that you're able to share?
Yeah, I shouldn't say too much, but I do have stuff lined up for pretty early next year. Uh, I think in the first few months of next year, I'm gonna put out another EP, but it's not gonna be the same style. It's not gonna be like rock, anything like that. I really liked the stripped down acoustic stuff that I was doing on the album, and before that with one of my singles, and I think a lot of people also connected with that. And that's the stuff that I feel like is more mature now, and I'd be more proud of in 10 years versus just the ignorant teenage, you know, stuff that I was singing about. But I think there's a place for both uh, in the music that I'm making. But right now, I was in the studio a couple days ago recording a song that that I think I'm gonna put out very very soon. So yeah, just very songwriter oriented now, where I'm right like it's just gonna be my voice and a few instruments, and so what I say matters more now, I think, with that kind of music than just like you can yell anything and make it sound cool or make it sound catchy without having a lot of substance. But I think I need to earn my stripes in the songwriter scene.
That makes perfect sense. And I know when we were speaking last time too, that you mentioned you mentioned how you practically grew up, making content, and whether it be from your initial vlogs to then your producer reacts videos, your TikToks, and then of course now your music. Over these past couple months, have you felt like, I guess, your approach to things have shifted over time, or have become more solidified in your current music career?
That's funny because somebody asked me yesterday. They said, "Is music your passion?" Because they've been around for basically my whole life, and they know the things that I've sworn were my passion. Like for years, it was videos, and that's what I want to do my whole life. I just want to make videos or video content, and that was all I cared about. But I think I said this last time we talked too. Music has always been the through line in my life. Like even if it wasn't something that I was doing professionally or taking seriously, it's always been something. Like even in the videos, I would make sure the music was good and that everything was synced up. And so I think I've solidified my interest in what I want my career to be with music. I think that's definitely the thing.
Well, that's good, at least that that it definitely has been a part of your life this whole time, and that now that is truly the mainstay of it, that you've been able to grow and evolve and everything. And so I know recently too that you also released a Christmas single.
I did. Yeah, that was a very interesting process because, well, with my last project, my album, I had as much time as I really wanted to put it out. I didn't give a hard deadline until it was done, and I didn't. It's it's less pressure, I feel like. And it's funny because it's less pressure on a serious, like, I'm trying to take it seriously. It's my debut album. It's got 12 songs. I should be more crunched for time, but I could kind of sit on it as long as I wanted to and as long as I needed to make sure that everything sonically was good. And you know, even if lyrically I fell short on some songs, I could at least was a good mix and you could listen to it comfortably. But for this song, I will say I've had it written since August. So before the album was even done, I had a Christmas song written and I had a demo of it recorded and I was listening to it and I was okay, we can do this and this. But I didn't go to the studio to record it until a week before it came out, which is something that I would never recommend anybody to do. So this is one of the things I didn't have the luxury of time because it's a seasonal thing. You know, I have to be on it and it has to come out or wait till next year or it never comes out. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm going to try my best on this. I have a week to record it and mix it and master it and send it in and promote it. And I found myself a little bit getting stressed. And I said, I shouldn't be stressed over a Christmas song. It's a holiday season. It's like, it's supposed to be spreading joy. And even though it's not a very happy song, I still was like, I'm going to put it out no matter what. And so, candidly, it's not one of my favorite songs that I've ever made, but that's mostly because of the technical side, which luckily most people don't pay attention to as much. Like, people aren't going to say, this is a bad song because the mix is a little too loud on the vocals or this or that, which I find relief in. And even my mom has had to tell me, like, yo, it's okay. This is a fun Christmas song. People are going to listen to it a couple times. It's a vibe. And then next year, you don't have to put a song out for Christmas because people will just listen to it again. So I think it's definitely insurance for a few years. I don't have to deal with that last minute Christmas stress for a little while. But yeah, I felt like I compared it to kind of like last minute Christmas shopping. Like you still have to go drive an hour away to go get this nice thing and you don't want to mess it up. You don't want to rush it, but also you have to do it. So yeah, that's the Christmas song was quite the experience.
Wow, I bet. And yeah, like what you were saying in regards to most people won't understand the technical aspects of it is even like editing my own podcasts and and YouTube videos. It's like, as people who like really know what we're doing, it's just like I don't know, it's just like I think we're so critical of certain things that most people will never pick up on. It's just like and people are like, I don't understand what you're frustrated
Yeah,
by.
yeah, that's the worst part because then you look in the mirror and you're like, wait, I actually don't understand why I'm so stressed either. Like it's fine. I've noticed that a lot too with YouTube videos and stuff. Like, oh, if I cut here versus half a second later, like it can change the momentum of the story that I'm trying to tell. But unless you're really under the like looking at it with a microscope, people aren't going to notice that. But it does. But I mean, when you're your own biggest critic and you want things to be good, like it's okay to do that, and I think you'll make a product that you're happier with. Because if I was only making music to so other people could enjoy it and I didn't care if I liked it, like that wouldn't really be honest with myself. Like I'm definitely a harsh critic on myself, and if I don't like it, it's never coming out.
That is quite true. And that relates to what we were saying even last time in regards to like for certain content, like if we sort of just wait to put it out like between recording and releasing, like and we're not constantly working on it, it's so easy that's just gonna go to the wayside and just become another lost part.
Exactly. I've had a lot of stuff fall through videos and music videos even that were done, and I just took too long, and the window passed, and I was like, well, no point in putting it out anymore. So it's upsetting. You lose that's time you can't get back.
That is quite true. And out of curiosity, for this thing I just thought about is that for any of those supposed lost projects, so to speak, have you ever thought about like for stuff that's essentially already recorded, have you ever thought about potentially doing anything with them, or do you just delete them, or what do you even do with those projects? Like they're just sitting, yeah, just sitting around.
I have hundreds of songs on my computer, most of which I will probably never put out to the world. I'll just make new stuff. But I think everything. I mean, Ed Sheeran said this one time, and I remembered it. It stuck with me in a documentary. He said that it's like running tap. Like if you have like a faucet or something outside where it's like dirt comes out first, you know, but the longer you let it run, less and less dirt comes out, and eventually it's clear water and you can drink it. And that's a good analogy because that's with songwriting. Like you can write stuff and it can be very bad for a long time, and that's stuff that's those counts as songs in your computer, and that's stuff that you have in the vault. But then, you know, there's fewer errors and you know missteps in the process, and then eventually you're making stuff that you're actually totally proud of and it's fine. So I think a lot of the stuff that has been experimental, and even stuff I put out before has been somewhat experimental and trying to find my footing. And that's when I will take the audience consideration, well, the audience's opinion into consideration. Like I don't let that dictate what I put out or how I go about what I do. But if it's something like that where I'm trying to, the reason I'm putting it out is to gauge how people think it sounds, then I'm fine with listening to people's criticism or praise. But I try not to think too much either way on that. But yeah, a bunch of songs that are just probably never going anywhere, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I completely understand that too. I mean, it's just one of those things that you never. I don't know. You just always keep learning, keep evolving, and it's just like not everything will be necessarily like for the public. Like even thinking about like going through educations, like people only really see the final product, the graduation, the commencement. They don't see all of the papers and the
Exactly.
homework that you had to go through it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. It's yeah, but I think there's some comfort in that too, because you can own all of your wins as your own and all your losses as your own. It's not like every song that I've ever made is out there to everybody's interpretation and criticism. Like I can look at it myself and be like, okay, I know this isn't good, right? But even I have songs that I've played for my mom, acoustic songs that she just really likes, and that were written about a circumstance or scenario that we both went through together or something like that. And those are her songs now. Like she has those on her phone and nobody else does, and those are hers, and they never get to be heard. And that's a very, I don't know, a very gratifying thing. Like, as her kid to be able to make stuff that she can be sad to or be happy to or listen to by herself, and that's it. It's like better than just putting everything out because I think it would be popular or whatever.
That's pretty cool. And I like that you're able to do that. I mean, yeah, it's almost like a mini Christmas gift almost in a way, because it's just like
Yeah,
it's something personal. You're using your own talents, but it's something not everyone else has. Like no one else can say I have this.
that's a good point. I don't usually think of it like that, but that is a good point because sometimes yeah, like people, I used to be jealous of people that could just knit a sweater or a blanket and give it to somebody and be like, hey, I created this for you, and so it's a one of a kind. Nobody else can do this, even if they something like that. And yeah, I guess with music it can be that a little sentimental gift to somebody. And also though there are songs that I've written put out that I think could be about a specific person that could be a gift, a gift sort of to them. They're not always about great things or about great experiences, but definitely people. I think everybody writes songs about certain people, hoping that they'll hear them, which I find funny.
Yeah, but that makes perfect sense though. And so overall, I'm so glad, Max, that I had a chance to speak with you and really catch up with you a bit here on the platform. It's always such an honor to speak with you and really continue following your story and everything.
Yeah, this is amazing. I appreciate you having me on. You're very good at what you do. I've listened to a lot of your podcasts, just you know, in preparation for the last one we did, and you take it very seriously, and it shows. And you got a good thing going, man.
Thank you so much. I so greatly appreciate that.
Of course.
Yeah, and so for those people who are listening, are you able to tell us once again where we can follow you online and also check out your debut album that came out just a couple months ago?
Yeah. So my name is Maxwell LeVan on Spotify, and it's the Max LeVan on all social media, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, everything like that. Um, the album's called Less Than Strangers. So if you just look up Less Than Strangers, it should pop up on platforms. And yeah, that's pretty much everything I got going on. And also just stay tuned for next year when I drop. I'll talk about it before I drop it, but I'm putting out hopefully a few songs early next year.
That's pretty cool. I can't wait for it. And so before I let you go, though, I did want to allow you to go ahead and close us out with a thought statement, inspirational quote, whatever the case may be. The floor is all yours.
Okay, my thought is, I was talking about it a little bit before, but I think I don't know if this is cliche, but listening to positive criticism and negative, like positive feedback and criticism, I think, because as somebody who's gotten a mixed amount of both, and I feel like anybody who puts their life out there is going to have pretty mixed feedback. You can't really cherry pick what you want to listen to. If you're going to say, I'm going to listen to my comments and my feedback, then you have to be prepared for both of those. And this is not even about social media. This is about just in life in general, work, school, whatever it is. You can't, mute out the criticism and only accept the love. And you also shouldn't only listen to the criticism and not see the love. So either don't take any of it and say, I'm doing my own thing and I don't really care what other people's opinions are, which is very like liberating, or you have to listen to both. Because I find a lot of people that you see one bad comment out of 50 good ones, and that ruins your day. And it's like, you can either focus on the whole picture or just don't even look. And I think, especially like in a workplace or anything like that, you gotta, it's a mindset, and it's difficult to figure out, but that's changed my life and the way I look at things in a big way. I hope that made sense.
Yes, absolutely did. Well, like I said before, it's just been such an honor to speak with you. And of course, you're always welcome here, and I can't wait to continue hearing your story online.
Thank you, man. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you so much. For those of you watching and listening, always thank you so much for all that you all do. And I can't wait to continue, being able to tell these stories. Until next time, have a wonderful day, and let's make things happen. I'll see y'all later. Take care. Thank you so much for checking out the Tansson Talks YouTube channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Be sure to give a big thank you to our sponsor Podpage for sponsoring this episode. And if you're interested in checking out our merch, go ahead and check us out at merch.tanssonmedia.com. We look forward to having you tune in next time. Take care and have a great day.